trying to clean my workspace before the semester starts. I only have, I think, less than 2 weeks before our classes will start. I really thought that we were going to start on the 13th, but actually we're going to start on the 24th. So I still have time to make myself prepared for the next semester or for the next year. And I still couldn't believe that I'm on the second year now of college. Like, time flies really fast. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just really excited of what's going to happen, but I'm also scared of the things that might happen in the future. But let's not just think about that and just think about the good things that might or can happen for this academic year.
Hi. No, it's not this. It's not like gaming. You wanna help me? No? Oh my God, wait lang. Wala lang ate dinig na itulog isa. Ew, basta. Sugat? Dagdara hindi. Nag-finals nga dyan. Tapos bigla na tutok. Nag-game na. No, 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 no.
So I'm planning on moving this table here and this plant box thing over there. Basta doon. I'm just so I want this area to be an L shape. Wait, am I making sense? But I don't know, let's just move it and you'll see it later. What I'm saying earlier, and I just want to work in this area so I can also put plates or things up on the wall whenever I do something. I feel like it's going to be more effective for me to work. I don't know if I'm the only one who is very annoyed whenever I open my set of markers and I see this and it's not color coded. So I'm planning to color code these babies right now. Yes, they're a mess. Some of them doesn't really work because these are just dupes from Lazada, which I bought I think in January or February, I don't know, but before I came home here. So here are the color coded markers, and I have here the grays, the browns, the reds, and oranges and yellow, blues, purples and violets, and I have here the greens. But I'm also planning on investing or buying the original ones, which I think is really helpful. I don't know, but I'm still broke right now, so good morning, guys, and it's the next day, and I'm just getting ready right now. And something came up to my mind earlier, which is why not incorporate the things or essentials for my course, which is interior design, in this video, as someone I think commented on my last or my past videos about what are tools or essentials for interior design students, and I think it would be helpful for you guys, especially right now.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Hello, so this video is brought to you by me. I just want to make a short disclaimer that the following materials are not sponsored, and I bought them with my own money and my parents, of course. But hey, if the following brands want to sponsor me in the future, then why not? So starting off the list with T-Square. I used the one with wood because it has a small gap from the paper, so it might lessen the ink bleeding from the tech pens. But it is also lighter than the acrylic one in terms of weight, so I secure it with tape so that it won't move and smudge the ink and destroy my work. So the next one are tech pens. In UST, it is required to have this professional type of tech pens from the brands Staedtler or Rotring, and they prohibit us from using disposable ones such as the brands Unipen and Sakura. Usually, they require us to get a set of 0.1, 0.4, and 0.7, or the set of 0.2, 0.5, and 0.8 as our starter set. But one thing that I observed is that Rotring is better on thinner points and Staedtler is better on the thicker points. But it is also up to you if what brand are you going to use for tech pens, but for me, I use both of them. 45 degree and 30 by 60 degree triangles. I bought a set of big ones and also the small ones because the bigger ones are for huge plates of plants or plates, and the smaller ones are just very handy for smaller plates, which I also use them for huge plates just because sometimes it could be easier to maneuver. Whenever I use tech pens, I turn the triangles upside down, and it's because it leaves a small clearance between the paper, so it lessens the smudging of the ink. And I also put tape over it so I could pull this up instead of sliding it down on the paper, because there's a tendency that sliding this would cause the smudging of the ink. There are different kinds of templates, but what we usually use are the circle ones, oblique, and there's even this scaled furniture template. But I don't have that right now. But one tip is that I also do the same thing as I do on my triangles, which is putting tape over it. And it's just a small thing, so we don't really think about, but it makes our working pace more efficient and convenient. Also, I always have a protractor for me, and this is just for the angles for the plans. And the next one are fan scale and triangular architect scale. These two are very important, especially in drafting plans, which are scaled into smaller scales. And the next one is measuring tape, and this is one of the most important tools for this profession because we basically get to measure everything in a space. And I have this in 7.5 meters, but I suggest you to invest on longer ones because it is very handy in the future. So the canisters are where we store our sheets of papers, mainly the bond papers and tracing papers. And I bought this when I was about to go home here in the province, and this is quite huge for my daily use. Like, I just use regular size canister in school. Also, I have this T-square and canister bag which I bought from Jolly's I think a year ago, but unfortunately I wasn't able to bring that home, and it was super helpful and makes carrying your things easier, especially when we are going back to school soon. By the way, we use our A3 sketch pads a lot during our first semester, especially for freehand drawings and our drawing classes. And I remember getting my Canson sketch pad, which for me is very good enough. There are a lot of brands and stores that might be better than this. So for the notebooks, I prefer the sketchbook types of notebooks because I could literally do anything on it, and I can also sketch my ideas for my next design design plate or so. And I also love bringing my notebooks everywhere just because I feel like there are a lot of things outside that could be an inspiration for my designs, and it is very handy in taking notes or sketching that down. So I compile some of my plates, especially the smaller ones, in a folder or portfolio, especially the A4 sized ones. And comment down below if you want a more in-depth portfolio tour wherein I would show you guys some of my plates from my first year of college. So for the colored pencils, any brand of colored pencils will do, but our instructor suggested the Prismacolor and Faber-Castell ones. For Prismacolor, it has this waxy texture when you use it on paper, so it is quite difficult to erase, but what I like about it is that it's really smooth in blending colors, unlike the Faber-Castell one, which leaves a very sketchy type of strokes, but it is easier to erase for me. We also use charcoal pencils, and I use the Staedtler ones because it is on the more affordable side, and I have them on various ranges from the soft to hard ones. Having a mechanical pencil is such a must-have for me because it has this consistent point or thickness, and mine is at 0.5. This pencil pouch is where I store all my tech pens, pencils, and all the small tools that I need. It is also very affordable for its quality, and I bought this from the National Bookstore way back in 2018, and I don't know if they still sell it, but you can buy it in art supply stores such as the Jollies, Jomars, or wait, I forgot the other one, Joyce's in UST, or the Art Bar. For watercolor, the brands Prang and Koi are the ones our instructors suggested us to buy in the first semester. If you watch my USD Q&A, you would know the story how I got roasted by my professor for using a regular grade watercolor, and it was really embarrassing. But on the other hand, this brand Prang is really good, and what's better about it is that you can buy refills for the colors. We also use the gouache paint, especially the white one, which is very essential for detailing or highlights on watercolor painting, or even when you want to erase or clear out some parts of a painting. On the first semester, we only needed like 2 flat brushes and 2 round brushes, but it's good if you already have more because it could really help, especially the thinner ones for the detailing. And I also have this hack of using a 1-inch paintbrush to juice out some eraser residue to prevent smudging of the pencil when you draw. So I bought this palettes on Jomars, one of the art supply stores in Noval. And I love using this, as you can see in the video, and I really need to clean them ASAP. We didn't get to use markers that much, but having a gray marker is very essential because you can also use it to shade walls on such plans, and it is a lot more easier than shading it with a tech pen, which takes a lot of time. And for the watercolor paper, there are a lot of different brands in the market, but I prefer the ones with a thicker GSMs, especially when I'm going to paint a couple of coats of watercolor, which prevents or lessens the crumbling of the paper. So I have 3 types of erasers, and one is the retractable eraser, which is very easy to use, and the second one is the regular eraser with the blue tip, and this blue freaking tip can do magic. And what I mean about the magic is that it can erase tech pen ink, but only on the tracing paper. But the last kind of eraser is the kneadable eraser, but unfortunately I don't have it right now, and I know it looks like a molding clay, but this is a freaking eraser, guys, and it is very convenient to use, especially when you want to erase very small details in a drawing. Cutters are also important in this course. This is a very clever hack, but a lot of IT students in UST also use this to erase smudges or even lines on the tracing paper, but it is very dangerous, to be honest, but just be careful on using this. So the next one is a compass, and this is just a compass or normal compass, which I use to draw bigger circles or even the door swings on plans. So the second to the last one is a masking tape or magic tape. And I remember myself always using the 3M magic tape, which is a little bit pricey, but regular masking tapes will do the job. But one tip that I have is that you can stick your tape on your shirt first, as it would lessen the adhesive on it before sticking it on the edges of the paper. And we've come to the last essential for this video, which is this Time Savers book. And this is considered as the Bible for interior design, and this book has a lot of information you need to know for the standards for furnishings and also anthropometrics and ergonomics. I have a hard copy of this book, but unfortunately I wasn't able to bring that home because of the reason that it was super heavy and it would be so hassle to carry that around. But I also have the soft copy of this book, which is easier to bring around, and you might just save up some coins on downloading this on the internet, but I still prefer the physical copy for the reason that I can highlight or write on it, but it still varies on different people and their preferences. So that is it for this interior design student essentials video. And by the way, this is just the part 1 of preparing myself for the new semester series, so watch out for the part 2. And thank you guys for watching this video, and see you guys on my next one.